Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and bench PR day. So this is, what are we at, day 11? Is this still day 11? Alright, at this point, I'm going to be cutting back to benching once a week. And I'm going to dedicate a day to overhead pressing, doing this exact same progression pattern on the strict press. And that's going to be my only bench press accessory. It's going to be a lot of volume. Now here's the thing. I went ahead and added 10 pounds today, and I went ahead and got my 10 sets. Here's what's going on with that. My bench strength is returning really fast now that I'm actually doing the exercise, and look at my chest is actually growing. All right, I've been cutting, but because of old muscle memory, my chest is actually growing. Just is what it is. I didn't necessarily predict that would happen, but that is what's happening. That's what's going on. And a lot of people were like, oh man, you're really sure. Like a guy last week, it was hilarious, with the 255 said, man, you're really struggling with those 3 reps last week. And that was kind of funny because today I went up 10 pounds because I got my 10 sets easily. So I went ahead and after these 3 warm-ups, yeah, even my 225 counts as a warm-up. That does not count as a work set. I went to 265 and I got all 10 sets in. No grinders. Maybe 1 or 2 reps near the end felt like they were a little bit slow. Some of my first reps are a little slower than I'd like, and that's one of the things that does bother me, and that could become a problem with a max later, is that getting those first reps in. But with a high set training system like this, you eventually get good at first reps. You eventually get good at first reps, and that's the idea. So there we go. As you guys can see, I mean, my chest is growing. My chest is growing. I think it's pretty clear at this point. I don't have a gut when you guys see those side shots. I do have a little bit of fat on my flanks still, and that's coming off. You know, all the cardio is slowly paying off. I'm losing fat, and some of those problem areas are still there, but the massive amount of cardio I'm doing on a clean diet is really helping. But the thing is, because I'm so used to, after several months of doing this much cardio, it seems to be enhancing my recovery. It doesn't seem to be negatively affecting it. And so me coming in, and what was it, Thursday, I did 10 sets of bench. I came in today, added 10 pounds. Cranked out my 10 triples. It means it's time to add weight. But notice that from the side, my pecs, even my upper chest is growing. Close grip bench press, guys. Close grip bench press. I try to tell this to bodybuilders all the time. They don't listen. They think the close grip bench press is a tricep exercise. Your chest has to work harder on the close grip. You're forced to move the bar through a longer range of motion. You're forced to get a little deeper at the bottom. You know, you come down, you pause on the chest. Look, pause, explode, pause, explode. Let it sink into your chest. You do a close grip and you let it sink into your chest like that, your chest is going to grow. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Yeah, the close grip bench press is great for triceps, but it's a chest builder. There's my back. I think it's pretty obvious that I'm definitely recompositioning at this point. And I think the change in training, focusing on this other stuff, is going to do that. Now that I've started upping my volume on the front squats, my quads are probably going to start growing again. So I'm really going to enjoy this new training system I'm doing. It's not new. This is a proven method of training. But this is where we're going with it. Now, I'm not doing accessory work now for bench. Why? The high specificity is working. It's working right now. And I'm going to have a whole day dedicated to overhead press. The strict overhead press is a fantastic bench accessory. So some people are going to ask, well, when will you add accessories in? You add accessories in when you stall. Stalls in this case are going to be hypertrophy related because I'm waiting to increase weight until I can do 10 sets with any given weight. And I'm going to do that on all these exercises. All right, I'm going to run this same system for 4 basic exercises. And I'm going to treat chin-ups as an accessory, just a good overall builder and hypertrophy exercise. Just like I'm going to treat all my core work as accessory. There's going to be no need to throw in accessories till you stall. And that's my view of accessory work. That's my view of weak point training. That's my view of isolation movements. You put those in when you stall on your compounds. But as long as you're making progress on your big lifts, all the muscles involved are growing. Now, in the case of my bench press here, my chest is just blowing up. I know that from historically for me, because I don't always have the best arm genetics in the world, when I stall on the bench press, I will come in and do tricep work. And I know that sounds counterintuitive particularly because I always say pause bench, your triceps, your lockout's not the weakness, but it's not the lockout that's the weakness. It's any muscle in the chain. So for me, if I start getting to where I can't add sets, I'm going to assume it's tricep fatigue building up, right? And so I will probably try a tricep exercise first. If I feel like it's a chest fatigue problem, I will probably throw in some dumbbell work, incline dumbbells, or floor press. But if it just seems to be tricep fatigue mounting up and limiting my total volume, then I just need to put more meat on my triceps, in which case I'll throw in a tricep accessory at the end. And I think that's the way I'm going to work this training system from this point forward. If I stall and I can't add more sets, that's when we need accessory work, because we're going to be limited by hypertrophy. The training itself already handles all the motor unit training. Because I'm doing high volume with low sets for power, it's not ever going to be a nervous system issue. I don't need to work on my strength curve. I need to bring up weak muscles. So that's the way that I'm going to treat this system moving forward. And I'm going to do that on all my exercises. So right now I'm doing this training system using the closed grip pause bench. I'm going to do the strict press. We're going to add that back in because I haven't done any overhead pressing since I started this new training other than those behind the neck. So I'm going to go back and work on the strict press instead of the push press. We're going to do deficit deadlifts and front squats and assess each weakness as I go. And whatever muscle's weakest is the one that will need the accessory work if I'm stalling. Now, some people will say, well, what's that going to do for aesthetics? Well, think about it this way. Those are all balanced exercises. If I have any given muscle that's lagging, like in this case, let's say my triceps start to lag on the bench. If you look at my overall structure there, my shape, triceps are probably going to be an aesthetic weakness for me at that point, aren't they? So if I work my triceps more and build up my triceps, won't that balance my aesthetics more? Right? Particularly as I lose fat. Now, I mean, looking at me from the side there, I could use some more tricep. Now, my triceps are probably going to grow from what I'm doing now. But if they become the weak link, then we train them. We put in extra work for them. It's pretty straightforward, guys. Pretty straightforward. I mean, I lose another 10, 20 pounds of fat, put another inch on my triceps. God forbid I might actually start looking like a bodybuilder. Perish the thought. But it could happen. So, yeah, I'm going to move forward with this system. I really kind of got it mapped out what I really want to do with this moving forward for just building an overall size and strength base where I want it. And doing the exercises that I'm doing will give me a good degree of overall proficiency in a wide variety of lifts. Particularly if I start throwing in a horizontal pull also as necessary. That should pretty much handle all the basic movements. A squat, a deadlift, chest press, and overhead press, some pulling. That'll cover everything. All the basic movements will be covered. And that's the point. Get strong as possible on all these exercises. Continue my nice slow cut. Keep doing all the cardio. And it's all going to work out in the end. But so far, I'm really happy with my return to bench pressing. It's actually gone really, really fast. And again, it's because I maintained a good strength base and muscle mass overall from all the overhead pressing and push pressing that it's allowed me to regain strength on the bench press really, really fast. I mean, this has been in a pretty short period of time. We're up to what? 10 sets of 3 paused. 10 sets of 3 paused on the close grip. I mean, this is my 10th set. So let's watch this here. Watch the overall speed. I'm pretty happy with this. So here we go. I mean, watch, this is 10th set. I'm fatigued at this point. Yeah, that one was a little fast. It was still pause. There we go. Pause. 10th set, final rep, pause, drive. Strength is there. Next week we go to 275. You know, a lot of people are like, oh man, you're so weak on the bench. Well, what are we going to say when I do 10 sets of 3, pause at 275? What happens when I get to 285? I mean, I'm throwing 10 pounds a week on now at this point. And it's coming along nicely. Again, kind of goes back to the point I always make to guys. We come to the gym to build strength, not to demonstrate it. There are times when you need to build up conservatively. And if you build up conservatively and you put in the work and you give yourself time to recover, you'll be surprised how far it'll take you. And you know what? You're going to do so with less injuries. You're going to do so with less overreaching. You're going to do so with less overall inflammation. Train smart. As I always keep telling guys, you come to the gym to build strength, not to demonstrate it. And what I'm demonstrating with this rebuilding the bench is a strength building program. It's not there to show off. It's there to give you the ability to show off later. And that's the point. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.